There's been a lot of changes for sure. Yeah, a lot of changes for the good, which I'm excited about. So, a few things. Recently, Facebook came out and said, we're going to clean up all of the ad units. And really, what that means is there were over 20 different types of ads you could run. And they're saying that they're going to cut those at least in half. Now, why I'm excited about this is because they're going to really focus on goal based ads, meaning getting more likes, getting more leads, and ultimately getting more sales. So they're making it easier. And I think this big change that they've gone through is really to help the small business because I teach a lot of people with really small budgets. And because of that, Facebook ads are a little bit daunting because you see the big brands doing them all the time and you think they're throwing hundreds of thousands of dollars a week to ads. And really, $100 a week could get you some really great results and help you grow your email list. So these changes, consolidating, making the ad dashboard easier. I mean, there's a lot of features I'm sure we'll get into, but that's the part overall that's really exciting about ads. So the trick is to figure out really how to target your ideal audience. That's really where most people, if they don't get good results with their ads, I'm going to guess it's targeting. And in addition to that, making sure that your ad is crafted in a way that will do exactly what you want it to do. So let me give you an example. Page post ads are my favorite type of ad, and they're not changing. They're the way they've always been. And for those of you who don't know what a page post ad is, basically you do a status update on your page and then you go into the ads dashboard and you turn that exact update into an ad, and it can go out into the news feed. So it goes out into the news feed and it looks like a typical status update. The only thing that's different is it has a little sponsored, the word sponsored underneath the ad in gray. It's not, you can hardly even see it. So it gets better conversions because it looks like a status update, it interacts like a status update, and people aren't like, ooh, there's a big ad. And I think we're getting desensitized to those right-hand ads that we see all the time on Facebook. I mean, I don't even look at them anymore. And so because of that, getting out into the news feed with these page post ads are truly the way to go to get your ad to convert. Now, as I mentioned earlier, it really comes down to targeting. So you want me to talk to you about some of the new features with targeting? Okay, great. So they're not brand new, but a lot of people don't know about them. They're newer. So first of all, there's something called custom audiences and lookalike audiences. And these are in your ads dashboard. Now, before I dive into them, I will say that I use the Power Editor. The Power Editor is a more robust Facebook ads dashboard. It's owned by Facebook, and you can find it in your ads dashboard. If you're in your ads dashboard and you look at the left column, you'll see the word Power Editor. You just click there and you can go right into it. So everyone has access to it, totally free. I will say it's clunky. It's not the easiest thing to use. There's a lot of free trainings out there, though, that I've contributed to, but other people as well, that will get you started. But I use the Power Editor because it allows you to place your ads in the newsfeed. The traditional ads dashboard doesn't give you that solo option. So, and that's all I do. I only place my ads in the newsfeed. But anyway, to get back to targeting, because I find lookalike audiences and custom audiences, you can find them in the Power Editor. And custom audiences means you get to upload your existing email list into Facebook. And then Facebook will go through all those emails. And if someone's using that email on Facebook, you can target them with your ad. Now, if you have a big list or a small list, it really doesn't matter. It's really all about segmenting. So let's say, I have this Facebook influence program, and it's like Facebook 101. Let's say I have a list of all the buyers who bought that program, and I have a new program, I'm making this up, a new program that's coming out that's more expensive and more in depth. I can then take that buyer list and make an ad that says, hey, I know you bought FB Influence, here's your next step, and talk about my new program. And I could target just the buyers of that first program. So you can really get laser focused on your audience. Pretty cool, right? Yeah. I love it. Another way I use custom audiences is if I do a webinar, I always send out a replay. Well, this last time I did a webinar, I sent the replay out as normal, but then I went on Facebook, created a slide that says, webinar replay available for 3 more days. And I made an ad out of it and targeted everybody who signed up for my webinar. So they were the only ones who saw it. And they loved it because the ad said, "Thanks for joining my webinar last night. Here's your replay link." And they felt it was very personal. So there's good ways to use custom audiences. I love it. But the other feature is really cool too, especially for those that don't really have a big audience yet on Facebook or don't have a big email list. And it's called lookalike audiences. And basically, you can tell Facebook, okay, I've got this one audience. Let's say you upload your email list of buyers. Show me a lookalike audience to my buyer list. And Facebook will give you an audience that has similar behaviors, likes, dislikes of that buyer list. So isn't it crazy? I mean, it's a little scary how much Facebook knows about us. I mean, we all know that's scary. But these lookalike audiences allow you to expand because they'll give you 1 million people back that you could target based on that small list of audience that you first initially started with. Or you could say, give me a lookalike audience that are similar to my existing fan base. So you could target them as well. So those are 2 features that I think are really great. Any small business can use them to get benefits with their ads. Yeah, great question. So you do not need big budgets for trying either of these features. One, they're completely free, but when you do your ads, I always say try to start with $100 a week. If you could do $100 a week, let's say for 2 to 3 weeks, you can usually get some really great results. And let me give you some tips about how to run Facebook ads that actually will convert, especially if you're going to lay down the money. We want to make sure you're going to get the most out of this. And the first thing is when you run an ad, I suggest that you run it to this piece of hair is just driving me crazy. Let me put it behind my ear. I suggest that you run it to a lead page, either on your Facebook page or outside of Facebook, but a lead page versus a sales page. So you want to first get the lead with your ad. I can promise you it's going to convert so much better. So for example, let's say you've got a great PDF cheat sheet related to your niche, or you've got a great ebook, or you've got a free chapter of your book. Make that your giveaway, run ads, do a page post ad to that giveaway. And then from there, you can use email marketing to eventually send them down your funnel to sell your programs, products, or services. I've seen drastically different results between sending someone to a great giveaway offer, a lead page, versus sending them right to your sales page. That usually doesn't convert well. And I think that's where some people get a little bit mixed up with their ads. It really does. So I'll create an ad that says, hey, click this link for my 4-part video series all about how to grow your email list with social media. And then I'll send them to literally a lead page. They opt in, they get my 4-part video series. Then I tell them about, hey, if you want to work with me further, here are some options. But I feel like on Facebook these days, especially with ads, you've got to earn it. You've got to earn the right to get in front of them and get their attention because there's so much noise and clutter. So earning it is about giving away some great free value. And if you have something fantastic to give away and they're going to give you their name and email, then it's an even exchange and it works really well on Facebook. But I say really give it that good college try about that giveaway. And what I mean by that is I recently created a new giveaway. I did a 4-part video series. It was a lot of work, putting together the slides, recording everything, getting it edited, putting up the opt-in page. But I know it's going to convert with Facebook ads much better than a quick little thing I threw up as a free giveaway. I took 3 blog posts, put them together in a PDF and said, this is a giveaway. Like people know when your giveaway is worth it or not these days. They're becoming very savvy. So spend some time on that giveaway and then turn that into an ad. I love this question. So I recommend that you actually either way works. So let's break it down real quick. You could do the promotional way. I do both. I have a promotion every quarter. Every quarter I do a brand new webinar. So I'll promote for 3 weeks in that Pretty heavily. I'll put more money actually in that because I know I'm promoting a webinar where I'm going to sell something on the webinar. So I know how much I usually convert and how much I can put toward ads. So that's kind of how I do it. The more expensive the product I'm going to promote on the webinar, the more money I'll put toward ads. But that will just be 3 weeks really concentrated effort. I also have a recorded webinar, and I run ads for $50 a week continually. As long as they're converting, I keep running the ad, as long as I'm getting great feedback. So I actually do both, and you could do either or depending on your business model. But if you're looking to grow your email list and you have something on autopilot like a recorded webinar or free ebook, I would run them continually. That's a great question. So to break it down a little bit, a good click-through rate, meaning people click on your ad and they actually go to your lead page in the news feed, is around 2 to 3%. Now, those ads in the right column, it usually is 0.04% is the average click-through rate. So as you can see, when you use the Power Editor and you choose placement news feed only, your click-through rate's going to go skyrocket compared to what it normally is. So that's a good click-through rate. Conversion rate, depending on who you are, what you're doing, it really fluctuates, but you want to go for at least 10%. 10% of the people that are clicking on your ad, they're seeing your lead page. We want to make sure they convert. And I'm so glad you brought this up because this is another cool new feature on Facebook ads. There's something called a conversion tracking tool. And I am not techie at all. Like if there's a lot of code involved, you will not see me around that. However, the conversion tracking tool, basically 3 easy steps. It's beyond easy, where they'll give you a little bit of code that you can put on your thank you page. So someone signs up for my webinar, I get their name and email from an ad, they click the ad, they go to my lead page, they sign up for my webinar, and then they land on a thank you page saying, thanks for signing up for my webinar. I put this code on that thank you page. Facebook then can tell me if my ad converted. And this is new because Facebook never really told us if I was actually getting the leads. I'd have to figure that out. So now you know instantly if that ad is actually converting into leads or sales. You can choose sales as well when you set up the pixel. So it's a great, great tool, very easy. A little bit of code, you put it on the thank you page, you're good to go. For sure. They're finally making it so that people like us that aren't necessarily, we don't have huge teams, tons of time, or tons of money to throw at it, we actually are getting some great results. Ads are truly the number one way I've grown my email list. And my email list is the heart of my business now. And so I'm so passionate about it because I've seen it work on small budgets like mine. Well, thanks for that. So I am a huge fan of trying to make it as simple as possible and as quick as possible for you to get the outcome. And so what I did with FB Ads Insider is I only teach 5 Facebook ad strategies. I could teach 100, but who has time for that? So I took the 5 that I know work really well for my past clients and myself that I use every day still. I took those 5 strategies and broke them down. So you'll learn how to run ads to get more fans, and you'll learn how to set up this page post ad strategy to get more leads. I literally walk you through step by step so you can set up a page post ad strategy. I show you if you do want to run ads to go directly to a sales page, what you should and should not do. So I really break it down. If you've got a goal to get more likes, leads, or sales on Facebook with ads, it's in this program, and it's really simple to follow. I think my specialty is hand-holding with some of my trainings, and that's definitely what I do in FB Ads Insider. Seriously, it's crazy. That's why I think because we don't have the time, I like the idea of either doing your promotion where you focus on ads maybe for 3 weeks each quarter and you promote something big, or if you put it on autopilot, check it in. You could check in for 5 minutes a day to make sure your ad's still converting well and just leave it. If it's working, you don't need to reinvent the wheel every time. So there are ways to just streamline it so you're not constantly poring over these analytics. I hate analytics. I used to not admit that. Now I'm just like, I don't love them. So there's easy ways to just kind of watch what you're doing with your ads, and it won't suck in all your time. Exactly. That's another thing that's so true that I do in the program is I show you there's like 50 things you can look at. I only look at about 10 different analytics, maybe even 7, and click through rate, how often people are seeing your ad, is it converting with that conversion tool? I mean, there's some really simple things now, and let's just ignore the rest because they're not that important. So, great point. I just think that you give it a shot. If you've used ads in the past and they haven't done anything for you, really look at page post ads, look at targeting more so than ever now. There's some easy ways to do it and give it another shot. And if you've never used ads, I truly think this is the way to cut through the noise on Facebook. So at least experiment with it just a little bit. So I appreciate you asking.